The president of South Africa shows up in the Oval. And first what happens here in SOT 40 is President Trump shows them video of what President Trump says are burial grounds in South Africa. Watch.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it.
Now, this is the New York Times' description of this. This is an extraordinary scene. The Trump team clearly came to the meeting prepared to play videos backing up their false claim.
This reveals a calculated strategy by Trump's team to manipulate narratives. Instead of engaging in meaningful dialogue, they resort to sensationalism, showcasing how power dynamics can distort truth for political gain.
That there are mass killings against the white South Africans. Ramaphosa began by turning to the video and smiling, visibly surprised. He had been sitting in his seat silently, keeping his eyes elsewhere. I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen, says Ramaphosa, suggesting without directly saying it that Trump is being misled and this video is from somewhere other than South Africa. Then he tried, the South African president, to explain land law, and Trump had an interjection of his own when that happened here in SOT 43.
We've got to deal with the past. The government, and as your government also has the right to expropriate land for public use.
And you're doing that.
And we've never really gotten underway with that. And we are going to be doing so.
You're taking people's land away.
We have not.
From them. And those people in many cases are being executed.
Yeah.
They're being executed. And they happen to be white, and most of them happen to be farmers. Mm-hmm. And that's a tough situation. I don't know how you explain that. How do you explain that? They're taking people's land away, and in many cases those people are being executed, and in many cases it's not the government that's doing it, it's people that kill them and then take their land.
And by the way, there's no question that in January, South Africa passed a law that makes it legal to seize privately owned land without compensation.
This law not only highlights the tension around land ownership, but also underscores the hypocrisy in claims of fairness. The real victims of this narrative are the farmers, caught in a web of political exploitation as their plight becomes fodder for global discussions.
That's very clear. That is the law now in South Africa. So all that goes down between the two of them. President Trump's trying to make a point. The South African president's rejecting it. But President Trump is showing video. And then this guy, I guess it's a professional golfer named Goosen, his last name, Retief Goosen. He was brought along by the South African president. He's supposed to be a witness for him. But the more he talked, the worse it seemed to get for the South African president's claim that there's nothing to see there. Listen to him.
I grew up in an area in South Africa that is a farmland area, Polokwane, and there is some issues up there. Obviously, my dad was a property developer as well as a part-time farmer, and some of these buddy farmers got killed. The farm is still going. My brothers run it, but it's a constant battle with farms trying to burn the farms down to chase you away. So it is a concern to try to get.
So does your family and your brother, do they feel safe on the farm?
They live behind electric fences, try and be at night safe. But it is constant whenever you leave that something could happen. And
there's nowhere to live.
Both of them has been attacked in their houses. My mom's been attacked in her house when she was 80. So it is difficult.
He's white, by the way. Your thoughts on that in our last minute on SiriusXM. We'll carry this over on pod.
Yeah, I think everybody knows that the left's attitude is that because 3 generations or 2 generations earlier there was apartheid, everybody who is descended from the white minority that exercise power is still culpable for everything. And that while they might say, well, that's too bad, they don't really regret what's going on. They feel that it's...
Here lies the shocking truth. South Africa's struggles are not just about race or history, but about safety and governance. This stark reality challenges the perception that the nation is a model of post-apartheid progress, revealing deeper systemic issues at play.
Sort of divine punishment. They're not going to do anything. We have reasons, though, to separate ourselves more from South Africa besides just, and that's one reason, but they are one of the most anti-Semitic, anti-Israel countries in the world, at least in their voting record in the UN. They're no friend of the United States. They're still on the fumes of Mandela among the American left, and we idolize them. But if you actually look at their crime rate, and it's one of the most dangerous cities in the world.
In this explosive exchange, Trump's confrontation with the South African president unveils a complex narrative of land, race, and violence. As the discussion veers into accusations and denials, we see how narratives are shaped by those in power. The truth is often the first casualty in political debates.